All right, footy fans, get ready for another episode of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. Here are your hosts, PJ and Brennan.
Hey, footy fans! Welcome back to another episode of NRL Live Chat 2.0, where unlike the NRL referees, we're at least very consistent, well, consistently bad at tipping, that is. What a weekend of footy we had, and your weekly dose of footy chat is right here with slightly more reliable than a second half defence effort from certain teams after round 10, but it was a comeback city with teams down at halftime, storming back for the win. Well, except for Tigers. Sorry, lads, not your week. But we'll get into that very shortly. And I want to talk about Vegas 2026. But first, I'm, of course, joined by the one and only PJ. How you doing, mate? What'd you make of round 10? And Vegas, baby, yeah!
Vegas, it's back on. Yeah, we're going to get into that shortly. But what a round, you know. We had three teams held 0 at halftime, and then they all come back to win with the other team who was leading, scoring 0 points in the second half. Yeah, we had a golden point thriller. The Dragons, we had the Panthers, 30-all, the first draw of the year. We had a 64-0. It was a smorgasbord of results, and we'll get into that shortly.
Absolutely. We'll have a look at some breaking news first. Sure. Okay, slow.
Breaking news.
All right, footy fans, buckle up because rugby league in Vegas is going to be next level in 2026. The NRL has confirmed today 6 of the biggest and most passionate fan bases will be kicking off the season in Sin City. That includes my Newcastle Knights, of course, and we're talking Bulldogs, Dragons, Cowboys, and of course the Mighty Knights, all set to light up Allegiant Stadium on Saturday, February 28, 2026. That'll be Sunday, March 1, back at home. And here's the rundown. So you've got the Bulldogs taking on the Dragons, Knights taking on the Cowboys, and there's a Super League match with Hull taking on Leeds for a bit of a spicy English derby. So I'm getting pretty excited about that. We're starting to look at all the different packages that are there and see if I can talk someone into going and see what happens.
That'd be good. Yeah, huge. Dragons, Bulldogs, talk about 2 of the biggest supported teams in the NRL when their team's going well, that is. And then Newcastle Knights as well. Massive, massive following. I think this is going to blow the previous 2 out of the park just quietly.
I hope so. I'm really excited about it and hoping to go, but I'm not confident at this point, but we'll see what happens with the financials and that. And here we go. I want to know how to watch NRL Live. Yeah, well, you can't. Not here. Sorry. You're in the wrong place. Anyway.
Live chat. Live chat. There's 2 words, live and chat, which means we chat live about football. We don't broadcast football because it is illegal to illegally
It's very naughty.
Football.
We don't do naughty things.
So
Tomorrow night, though,
please
PJ.
consult your local country. Please consult your local country's TV programming to find out how you can watch the NRL. But tomorrow night, Origin is back. New South Wales at the 1-0 lead. Brenno, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, so the Blues are taking on the Maroons in the second of the women's Origin. It's going to be another great game, I reckon. It was great the last game, and Blues took the victory 32-12. This time it's at Allianz on New South Wales soil. Should be a good one to watch. Come on, Sky Blues, let's go.
I was super impressed with the quality of that game.
Yeah, it's great.
Especially the New South Wales attack, but the quality of the game in general. There's some really good football. I think the women's game has taken it to the next level. And I'm actually really excited about this. I'll be over with my godfather, Ed. Hey, Ed. How you doing?
Hey.
I'll be over with him tomorrow night watching this one live on Channel 9 because they block it from everyone else broadcasting.
Yep.
So watch on Channel 9. That's where you get it, Mr. Boney. Channel 9.
All right. So let's quickly have a look at last week's results. So sort of mentioned it just before, but Storm had a massive win, sending the Tigers packing, and kept them to donuts. Knights, Broncos and Raiders, though, however, all led at half-time, but turned around to lose from what looked like an unlosable, is that a word? Unlosable position. Absolutely pathetic these teams were, and letting that happen and stuffing up my tips. Thanks a lot. We had our first draw as well. And I can't understand the Cowboys and Panthers game. They both scored 30 points and just could not get that extra point to win it. What's going on there?
Yeah, I really thought the Eels would get that game. I know I got that tip wrong, but Knights 20-0 up, lose 24-20. Broncos 14-0 up, lose 22-14. Raiders 20-0 up, and the Bulldogs did score just before half-time, and they lose 32-20. And then the bloody Dragons, can you believe it? Warriors up 14-0, Dragons get back to 14-all, and then lose it by a field goal in extra time and break it. They broke the system, and then we ended up having a broken 30-all. Obviously, the system's broken. We had to reboot. While we were rebooting, the West Tigers lost 64-0. Talk about not coming out both halves. And then the system was reset and back online, and the Sharks upset Manly at Brookvale. Another game I got wrong. Really thought Manly would give that a go, but 14-0 at halftime. The Sharkies let them back to 14-all before they went on with it.
That was close in the end there. That score didn't really reflect how that game went. It was just they blew it out in the end. But
as soon as the Sharks got that try in the second half, it was bang after that. They just went on with it, I think. 3 tries were about 8 or 9 minutes apart.
All right, let's go check out what everyone's waiting for. Round 11. Let's see what we got. It is a battle stations for both of these teams. The Knights have had a rocky run. I know what you're laughing at. So Knights are clinging on a 14th, but back at home in front of Newcastle faithful. If any of the fans come back, that is for this week's game after a pathetic 24-20 loss last week to the Titans. Anything can happen. The Eels are dead last, and it's starting to feel like a lost season for them. Bottom of the ladder battle, and I've dubbed it the Spoon Bowl 2025, round 1. Both teams need this to stay off the bottom, and I've got my heart here with the Knights. I'm going Knights 1-12.
Newcastle, isn't AI wonderful? Show me Kalen Ponga holding a giant spoon. Love it. But I've gone Eels 1-12. I just saw enough last week against the Dolphins, who've been impressive in the last couple of games, to think the Eels will snatch this one in a very, very close, tight tussle. At the blink of an eye, though, the Knights could just put it all together at home. Friday night, 6 p.m. It's probably going to affect the crowd a little bit, but it could be a massive crowd still. So I'm going Eels, but no confidence at all. Yeah. I hope you get the win, Brenno.
Oh, look, I hope so too. They need it. Otherwise, if they lose this one, that's pretty much. I think that's the end of the season for the Knights. Like nothing against the Eels.
It's not bottom of.
No,
it's not bottom of. They're 14th. They're down there.
Yeah, and it is still really close. It's still a really close competition. But thanks to CV Tino Roo, Knights to defeat Para and Finns to win at Suncorp. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, Zach Lomax back in for the Eels.
Yeah. That could help them a lot,
addition for them, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, thanks, CB. Yeah, despite the fact it's 14th versus 17th, this is actually going to be a really, really good game.
All right, let's get on with it then. So they're barking loud and biting harder this season. Top of the table, Bulldogs. They're shocked everyone and now face a Rooster side that's still figuring out what gear they're in. The Chooks had the week off last week after some disruption. So who is it? Who is playing? Who isn't playing? Who bloody knows? If they don't bring the A game, though, this will be another reality check for the Tricolours. The Dogs were clinical last week, coming back from 20-0 at half-time.
Clinical in the second half, Brenno.
They were clinical last week. Yeah, it took them the second half to come back to win 32-20. Can't go past the Doggies this week, though. I'm going 13+.
Dogs were atrocious last week in the first half and clinical in the second half. They were dynamite coming back from 20-0 down. The Raiders, I think they're still watching the video trying to figure out what went wrong.
Yeah.
Now they're back at home, Friday night, 8 o'clock, nationally televised game. The Doggies will be up for this for sure. The Roosters, though, they're kind of rocks and diamonds at the moment. Roll the dice, see which one turns up. I can see them hanging in there for first 2025, but Bulldogs 13 plus for me too.
13 plus, yeah. It should be a whitewash, you would think, but anyway. All right, the Finns are floating around mid-table, but the Warriors are flying high in second and looking like genuine contenders this year. But what happened last week? Only just sneaking home after leading 14-4 at half-time. Forgot to come out in the second half and almost losing it to the previous teams did. This one will be who controls the middle and who's got the spine that clicks. Dolphins will need a huge game to stop the Wars after a narrow 20-16 win over last place Eels. I have got the Warriors.
Yes. The Warriors breaking the streak last week of teams not scoring in the first half and coming back to win. Dragons came back from 14-0, but it was 14-4 at half-time. Tied the game and then a field goal to the Warriors. Just got them home. Dolphins were good last week against the Eels, but it was the Eels.
Yeah.
So this will be a tight one, I reckon, Brenno. This will be a really good game. I think the attacking power that the Dolphins have will keep them in the game. Be a bit of a high score, I think, maybe 26-22 or something like that. But the Warriors in 1-12, they should get the job done, dude.
Hopefully.
Warriors fans out there, give us your tongue.
This is a classic, though, this one. Who turns up? We don't know. We'll find out. Maybe we just roll the dice for this one, but the Cows are hot and cold, but at home they've been pretty strong. The Manly's attack can rip you apart or vanish completely. Watch for some fireworks, maybe even a sin bin or two. I've got a feel... but if it depends if what the refs are doing, if they've got a license to send people off this week, who knows? But I've taken the Cowboys with no confidence. 1-12.
Oh, yeah, 30 years, and they had a 30-30 draw last week. And the team they're playing got beat by 30. Isn't that unusual? But yeah, the team with the worst logo in the comp, fair dinkum Cowboys, what are you doing? The 30's too big. I think I've mentioned it before, but it's like Daly Cherry Evans's ego. It's just too big.
It's like they're 30 old. They're both losers.
They're both losers. Yeah, they were both losers last week. But Cowboys at home, they're well known to click into gear.
Yeah.
At their fantastic style. I can't wait to go up there and see a game there, Brennan. I'm really looking forward to that at some point. I'll just drive in, go to the game, drive home because I don't like crocodiles. And I don't like the idea that I could be eaten walking down the street.
I'm more worried about the 34-degree heat in the middle of winter.
No, I'm definitely more worried about a crocodile.
Don't go near the water.
But Manly sputtering and spluttering along. They really, really haven't hit their groove. They were doing so good at the start of the year. But not really any injuries. They just can't get it going. I can't put my finger on it. There's a lot of rumours going around about Cherry Evans' exit, and there's a rift in the team.
Yeah.
Probably makes sense. But yeah, apparently he hasn't done a deal with the Roosters or anybody else at this point.
And then I was watching a
thing. So expect this rift to continue.
Yeah. Well, there was a thing on the news. The players were saying that there's no rift. He's turning up to training. He's putting everything in. He's just not playing bad. Just the team just fell apart last week. So they come back and then went, oh, no, we don't want to win this game. And, yeah, they got beaten by the Sharks.
14-0 down, come back to 14-0 at Brookvale Oval against a team that they beat, I think, 30 years straight. Yeah. But they've now lost, 8 in a row. Haven't won a game against the Sharks at Brookvale since 2019, I think it was. So, Yeah, they're yeah. I'll go Cowboys, but not with a lot of confidence. Definitely 1-12. It'll be tweaked.
Definitely same there.
I feel
All right. All right, this could be the match of the round, possibly. Sharks at home to the Storm in the third. Two top 5 teams going at it. Hines versus Hughes. Nico needs to deliver a big game for these big games and shut up the doubters. Strap in, guys.
I think Brennan just had a stroke, ladies and gentlemen. Who's got a defib?
No, it's
clear.
It must be Facebook. It's not me. Anyway, so yeah, Sharks ran over the Seagulls last week, 30-14, while Storm are coming off a record-breaking 64-0 smashing of the poor old Tigers. And Pappenhausen, he was on fire, had a massive game, scoring 36 points. That's more than half the points that they scored. And I'm going to go Storm this week. I'm going to keep going, but a bit more tamer this week, 1-12.
I'm also going the Storm. It'll be a close one, though. The Sharks have been in really good form. Solid win last week. They've got the Roosters next week. That'll be a cracker. The Sharks-Roosters games are always super tight. With the Storm heading into a bye, I can't see them taking the foot off the pedal at all after a shock loss 2 weeks ago. Come out and win 64-0 last week.
Yeah.
Danger. Get the shark warning siren going, Sharks, because there's a storm coming.
All right. Just give me 1 sec.
You're right.
All righty then.
This is always a really good game. I remember a couple of years ago there was a dust-up. The Sharks played Melbourne and beat them. They do that. Souths don't do that, but the Sharks do that. And there was a big bust-up in the game. I can't remember who got coat hanged. It might have been Jason Stevens or someone. And they've had a lot of really good clashes. And obviously the 2016 Grand Final being the pinnacle of all pinnacles.
Also, this was pretty funny.
When we all thought Storm were going to win at the end and the Sharks just hang on. And
So the end of the game last week, it's Harry Grant. He was on the sideline. He's like looking at Bellamy. Bellamy's not smiling. He's like, "Come on, mate. This is how you smile. Have a look. 64-0. Come on." Funny shit.
Yeah. He's still going. We should have kept him to less than nil.
Should have been 70. Yeah.
We butchered 2 tries. It's not good enough.
That's just not good enough.
Flog him a training.
That's it. He's going to reserve grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Broncos might not be as scary as last year, but they're still a force at home. The Dragons, well, they're doing their best, and that's all we can ask for. So expect the Broncos to run amok here unless the Red V brings some serious attitude. Broncos were hopeless against the Bunnies last week, losing 22-14 after they led at half-time. Another team that has no second half from round 10. Well, Dragons just pipped at the post by the Waz. I'm going to go Broncos 1-12.
Yeah, close one. Broncos at home gives me no confidence. They've been really bad. There's lots of rumours going around, like with Manly, that there's some riff with the coach and he hasn't got the playing group and the playing group split and all that sort of stuff.
Seems like a running theme.
These guys get paid hundreds of thousands. Just go play football, guys.
Yeah.
Just go play football. You get paid hundreds of 6, 7, 8 times the average person's wage. They're busting their butt every day and they get an eighth of what you get. Just play football. How about that?
How about that?
Yeah, Broncos doing my head in at the moment. What a world-class team they've got. And just poop. Just poop emojis every week. The fans must be furious. I know we've got a lot of Papua New Guinea guys in the group, and I know a lot of them go for the Broncos. But just poop emojis every day. Poop.
Yeah, it sounds very
Dragons.
It sounds like the Knights team too. Like they've got all these great players, but nothing's happening. Anyway.
Yeah, Dragons. I think they were gallant in defeat last week. They were pretty bad the week before from memory.
Quite possibly
They've
should
both
have
got
won
the bye with Origin this week. Next week, sorry.
Next week,
So you'd think this would be an all-out bloodfest for the 2 points before
You'd think
they have
so,
a break.
especially with the Broncos. Like a lot of them will be vying for Queensland spots as well. So, and I guess half the Dragons team will be too.
Yep. Well, they both scored 14 last week, so here's a prediction. I'm going to say it's a 14-all draw, and they're both losers.
Both losers.
Both losers. Yeah, no. Broncos lost.
All right, Canberra at home. Freezing cold. Titans flying in from sunny Gold Coast. You already know where this is headed. The Raiders are gritty. The Titans are flashy but flaky. This is a big chance for the Green Machine to solidify their top 4 spot. However, the Raiders, they're another team to do all the work in the first half, then switch off, let the Doggies win 32-20 last week. Titans had a great comeback against the Knights, but I'm going to be taking Raiders 13 plus. Look at that.
Oofed.
Whew.
Oofed. Flaky like a Cadbury flake. Fake. Sorry. You said flaky, and now I can't think of anything but a Cadbury flake. Anyway, Raiders, terrible in the second half last week, Brennan. I was so impressed at half time. I was doing my deck, actually. I was building my deck out the front of my house, and I had them on the little iPad there, and I was streaming the sound so I could hear what was going on, and it was just, try. Raiders are amazing. Oh, my God. It was so awesome how good they were. And then poop emojis second half.
Poop emojis. It was a whole weekend of poop emojis, wasn't it? Oh.
It was just a weekend of second half poop emojis by one team at least. But, I've gone 1-12. I think the Titans, what did they do last week? They beat
Knights.
Knights after being down 20-0.
Yeah.
So that gives me some glimmer of hope that they've got some kind of clue of what they're doing. I don't think they'll handle Canberra at 4 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
But Canberra maybe 26-16.
Ooh.
There you go. Pick the score on.
Pick the score.
Match of the round.
Oh, you reckon? Okay. 10th versus 11th match of the round. Okay. But both sides have had a roller coaster ride this year. The Bunnies have been better lately with a nice win over the Broncos last week. Well done. Latrell, though, wow. He was dead set on fire. That little sneaky try at the end, right on full time. That 2-point field goal from halfway was crazy. But the Tigers have surprised a few teams. And a loss here could really hurt either side's finals push. Sunday night footy and maybe Golden Point thriller.
Yeah, they didn't surprise the Storm last week.
Sure did.
64-0 last week. There was no surprise for the Storm last week. They were in massive trouble. But, it'll be a close game, I think. South's still missing, I think, 7 of the starting players. But with Humphreys back, Jai Gray was exceptional in that second half once they actually put him on the field.
Yeah. Did you hear the cheer? The crowd went crazy when he came on the field too.
It was a standing ovation, mate. I was in Bay 125, where I always am. Come say hi. I was in Bay 125, and all of the fans just out of their chairs, and they were clapping and carrying on. It was awesome.
Yeah, that should be a signal to the coach. What are you doing? Put him on the field.
He's a little cult hero, mate. He's got to be in the number 6 jersey until, I'd say, Cody Walker comes back, but he's probably going to be a while away yet.
Yeah, okay.
If we're going to build next year, because we're not going to win the comp this year, that's very obvious. If we're going to build next year, play him at 6. He could be the solution. We've got Latrell at 1. Where else does he fit? Nowhere is the answer. So if we're going with Humphreys at 7, we've got Brandon Smith coming at 9, because Mamazoulis, is Mamazoulis. The only place Jai Gray has left is 6. Yeah. So put him in there now, my opinion, and just work with him, But Benno's a friend of Jaden Sullivan's, apparently, so Jaden's getting a bit of a rails run there. We'll see how long that lasts.
So talking about not winning the premiership this year, it is now official. The Tigers have been added to the gone list after that terrible 64-0. They could have been gone twice if they kept scoring. Wow. Anyway.
Yep. No team has ever conceded 50 points and won the grand final. That's what this is about. Don't argue with us about it. Don't argue about it. This is a fact. No one has scored 50
statistical
points.
fact. Yeah.
Statistical fact. It's never happened. And those people go, "Oh, there's always a first." Not yet.
Hasn't happened yet. When it happens,
Not yet.
we'll get rid of that slide if that happens.
They will break 117, 18-year history if a team comes back from 50-0 down during the season and wins a grand final. South had 50 put on them twice, Breno, by the way, 2021. Made the grand final and were within a bee's dick. That's an actual term of measurement. It's a very, very small amount, a bee's dick. And they were a bee's dick away from winning that one. But, yeah, West Tigers and Souths both have the bye next week. This will be an all-out bloodfest Sunday night football.
Cool, can't wait. Bring it on. Should be good.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be a good game.
Fingers crossed. Be really good. Go to Bunnies.
Go to Bunnies.
All right, let's have a look at last week's pathetic attempt at some tips.
Have to?
Yeah. Sorry, but well, we got one for that draw. It's classed as a win apparently. But that's why I put a cross and a tick there because I don't know what it is, but we get the point for it. So
right, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take the point. At this point, we'll take the point. So here's our round 11 tips. As we said before, the only thing we've gone different is the Knights and Eels game. So that'll be interesting. See who's going to turn up for that one. The Spoon Bowl.
Woo, woo, woo.
And our top 10 tippers for the NRL Live Chat 2.0 tipping comp. Put your house on it is still streaking ahead there. Very good.
Yeah, just a 1 point lead on DT. What do you reckon DT stands for?
It's Donna.
Donna?
Donna.
Oh, Donna. Donna and Evelyn in the top 3 now. Girls are leading the way.
Smashing it.
Put your house on it. Send us a message so we know if it's male or female.
Who are you?
It could be an all-girl top 3 there, by the way.
Yeah,
so let us know.
Putting us to shame. I think I'm down to 20th or something.
Who put your house on it is. Let us know in the comments. Thank you. Yeah, points table. Bulldogs still leading the way.
On top, yeah.
2 point lead
Look
to
at
the
difference,
Warriors.
106 difference, yeah.
Who tipped that after round 1? Breno, I think I had the Warriors 15.
Yeah.
At the end of the season.
No, I didn't even have them in the 8. Oh, might have had them in there. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and have a look. We should do a mid-season, have a look at the ladder that we predicted. You know.
Yeah, we will definitely do that.
How though? How are you sitting in second and only have 1 point difference?
Because when
that's
you
bizarre.
lose, you really lose.
It's only because they kicked that field goal last weekend to win the game. Otherwise, they'll be on 0 difference.
They would be on 0 difference. Yeah, good point. It's actually a weird table. You've got the Dolphins all the way down in 12th as plus 10.
Yeah.
The Panthers second last in minus 2. You know, there's the Cowboys in 6th on minus 14. It's just
proving there's no form.
All flows in numerical order, but not really the case this year, Brenner. Not really the case.
Okay, so let's go back and turn that off before. Yeah,
I like to crack the Bunnies are equal 7th. That's what I like.
So
no, it's 10th. Equal 7th.
I haven't done much of Breno's naughty corner this week. No one in the naughty corner. There's a fair few fines though, but looks like everyone's starting to get the idea. Head-high tackles are not a good thing in the game, or is it the referees putting their whistle away? I'm not sure. But
maybe the players have realised that you can't tackle someone on the chin
with your shoulder.
With your shoulder, yeah. Although there were a few last week, I'm just going, that was 10 in the bin 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. It's ridiculous.
Well, they've definitely put the whistle away. But there is one in the naughty corner this week, Brent, I have to say it. Your laptop for dying last night. Breno's laptop is in the naughty corner.
It was almost going through the naughty corner.
Make sure you put a sad face on it and add this to your little preview video thingy, Bob, what's call it. But yeah, Breno's computer in the naughty corner, along with the gremlin that messed it up.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't talk about that ever again.
Nope.
Okay, let's go check out what PJ's got for us this week.
Oh, God.
PJ's tip of the week.
I really thought last week was going to be the week that I'd get it right.
You almost got it right. Half right.
And the moment I put the team playing against South Sydney in my multi, South Sydney win the game. And then the Storm, I put 1-12. They actually won 13 plus. It was very close. Storm. Broncos were 13 plus at halftime. I was very close to a multi. All right, so this week, here we go. Drum roll. Bulldogs 13 plus. You know what's going to happen. Roosters gone. Out. Take them out. Gone. Bulldogs 13 plus. They're leading the comp. Roosters will not turn up tomorrow night. They will get smashed. Warriors 1-12. The Warriors will battle it out with the Dolphins, and I think it's the Dolphins. I'm just having a conniption now in my own brain. It is the Dolphins. Warriors will battle it out with the Dolphins in a cliffhanger, like last week. The Dolphins will come firing, but they will succumb to the big tongue. And then in the last one, Raiders 1-12. That's right. The Canberra Raiders are going to beat the Gold Coast Titans. You pressed the wrong button. Canberra Raiders. You pressed the tongue button. The Canberra Raiders are going to beat the Gold Coast Titans. Very, very close game, 1-12. So Bulldogs 13 plus, Warriors 1-12, Raiders 1-12. Get on that. I'm actually going to put this one on, Brennan. I reckon this is the first multi I'm ever going to get right in the history of goddamn multis. Put it on. It gon' win. It gon' win.
Okay.
PJ's tip of the week.
All right, I think that's all we've got time for. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Everyone finally got on there towards
Don't
the
be
end.
sexist.
But
Don't be sexist.
yeah,
there is a game on.
There is a game tonight, and we're looking forward to it. It should be a great battle. The Blues taking on the Queenslanders in the women's Origin game number 2. Blues took out the first one, so hopefully get the second one, and it's all over. They have to come back to Newcastle in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Blues amazing in the first game. I'm really excited for the second game. I hope it doesn't happen like last year where Queensland just blow them away. I hope the Blues can seal the win, and then Brennan can go along to game 3 and get completely wasted knowing that New South Wales are already the champions.
Yeah, probably not doing that either.
I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to watch it tonight, Brennan. It was a great game last game.
Unless we do the podcast live from the game, that'd be cool.
Yeah, from game 3.
Yeah.
Now we'll have to look at when it is. Road trip.
2 weeks' time. All right.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. We'll do it all over again. Hopefully,
thanks for joining Live Chat 2.0 for the 2.0 time. Bye.
Good night.
Thanks for tuning in to another action-packed episode of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out all of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 action on our Facebook group page. Come and join the chat. Goodbye.